Hey yogis, I'm Lauren Vogel and welcome to Zentric. So let's talk about what you need to set up a yoga practice space at home. Creating a sacred space for your home practice is really about finding a quiet, distraction-free space where you feel comfortable. So the first thing that we do is to choose the space. If you're one of the lucky ones and you have a designated room in your home that you can claim as your yoga space, then you have won the jackpot. That is the ideal. However, if what's available to you is simply the space beside your bed or a smaller space, some people I've even heard make their space inside their walk-in closet, whatever works, right? It's just important that this space is free of clutter and ideally gives you solitude. It's really powerful and wonderful to be able to close the door, okay? You want to be away from pets, kids, partners, and really any distractions. And that includes TVs, phones, iPads, all those devices that are normally distracting us anyway. Yoga stuff. What do you need? You're obviously going to need a yoga mat. We love Jade, Lululemon, Manduka, and Lifeform. Those are our suggestions because they are durable and they are grippy. So I've had multiple Lululemon mats and multiple Jade mats, Manduka, Lifeform. Those are ones that my trusted friends use. But I love a Jade or Lululemon. I've used those for years and they last a long time and you will not slip around on those. So not slipping around on your yoga mat is really something that you want to be aware of. Get a grippy mat so that when your hands get sweaty, you're not slipping. And also, you're not going to need these things all the time, but occasionally you might need some yoga blocks. I would recommend getting 2 yoga blocks, cork or foam. You might want a yoga strap, a bolster to help you with those yin postures, and sometimes it's really wonderful to have a bolster in Shavasana, and maybe even a yoga blanket. We use yoga blankets and blocks together in our meditations. And then the ever important question, what to wear? What do we wear? Well, yogis were practicing yoga long before Lululemon and Biore came to town, okay? So you can practice in whatever is comfortable. I mean, you are in your home or in a private space after all. So not having the right yoga clothes or the right yoga props or mat should never, ever be a reason to not practice yoga, okay? But I will say what's comfortable. All right, the standard legging yoga pants and a very form-fitting top are what most people prefer to practice in because you don't want your clothes getting in the way of your practice. So a good pair of yoga pants can literally feel like a second skin and won't hold you back from any pose. A sports bra or a tight top is also useful when you're upside down. So if you're wearing a loose t-shirt in down dog or headstand, it can get a little dangerous even. It can get a little awkward. So it's just, all of these are just suggestions, okay? And then you really want to personalize your space. So incorporate elements that make you feel calm. Claim it as your own, right? So this could be the color on the walls. It could be artwork that speaks to your soul. You could add a plant to purify the air, add a touch of nature. If you like aromatherapy, you might get a diffuser with some essential oils like lavender or eucalyptus or peppermint. Just create a serene atmosphere. Candles, salt lamps are also good at creating a soothing environment, and it just facilitates concentration and relaxation. And then distraction. So ideally, your space isn't cluttered and there are very limited distractions. You also want to keep your space clean. I know I've been in my own yoga practice before and I will be on the floor and I'll see underneath a chair or something and I get distracted because I need to vacuum. So, just clean is good but not necessary, It's also wise to keep electronic devices. I mentioned that before. You don't want your tablets, you don't want your TV on in the background. Let's have this be a quiet, distraction-free place, right? Accessibility. So your yoga space should be inviting and ideally it's ready for you to use at any time. So here's a cool trick. Keep your yoga mat rolled out with your props nearby, and it's gonna inspire you to use them, right? Walking by your yoga mat, really everything's already set for you, might as well get on it, right? And then something that might not come to mind, but does for me often, is temperature. So practicing in a cold environment, not so great. I love practicing in a warm or even a hot environment. So if I know that I'm gonna practice, then I'll turn my space heater on in my yoga room about 30 to 40 minutes before I practice so that I can warm up the room. It's really wonderful in the summer. It's just like a natural hot yoga room outside on your porch. So think about that too. But that's really what you need. That's what you need. I don't want you to feel like you've got to, before you get started with yoga, you've got to go out and get all the things and have it all perfect. Really, honestly, these are, guidelines for setting up that yoga space. But if you just roll out your mat in your living room and have, a bottle of water nearby, you are set. All right, go get started. I know I'm going to see you on your mat soon.